Hello. Welcome to day 23. Day 23 of 365 days, where I come on here and I share a little bit of value up until the day before I get married. And if I'm lucky, I'm going to do one the day of my wedding. So this morning, I am grateful for it's game day. I'm a Buckeye fan, so it's game day. And just excited to see my boys get out there, put in that work. At the time of this recording, it's Saturday morning. I'm just kind of taking in. I told you my backyard to me is like the coolest thing ever because it's just like an open field. Sometimes I like to come down here and just look out. We'll see cranes, we'll see wild pigs, we'll see deer. There's a marsh out there, so once in a while there might be a gator out there, from a distance. But we see all kind of wild animals, and I just enjoy hearing the birds in the morning. I actually do enjoy hearing the crickets at night, but I definitely like to come out here and just sit and enjoy. Anyway, that's not the point of today's video. Today's video is about something. So, a buddy of mine sends me a devotion every day, and this morning he sent me a devotion that actually triggered a memory, something that I actually started doing last year. And now I'm able to actually see the results of it. So I said, hey, let me come on here and share that with you. So, as this video is titled, The Magic or the Magical Buffer Touch, right? The magic of the buffer touch. So basically what this buffer is when it aligns with your scheduling. The devotion he sent was talking about how God tends to come and ask us, to do different things, but we feel like we're too busy because we have too much going on. Really, the truth of the matter is we don't have any downtime. Therefore, because we don't have downtime, everything always feels like we're in survival mode. Everything always feels like we are just trying to make it to the next day. And so the concept of putting buffers in your schedule fell in. So last year, at the beginning of 2020, one of my mentors had mentioned that we should start putting buffers in our schedule, and I did just that. And mainly, I noticed 4 specific things happened, okay? 4 very specific things happened for me. The first became that my health improved drastically. What does that mean? Because I had buffers in my schedule, so there were certain times of day that I blocked off just for myself. Right now, luckily enough, as an entrepreneur, I do have the luxury of being able to do that. But, that does not mean that it's not possible for those who are non-entrepreneurs, business owners, and all like that. You can, in fact, do that. Just depends on how you set up your schedule. But I was able to block off specific times of day for social media, specific times of day for myself, right? When I'd go walking, specific times of day, just kind of like mindless Netflix time, specific times of day for exercise, specific times of day for meal prepping. But I was able to block off certain parts of my schedule as buffer zones. So in these zones, some days I specified like a general area. Some days I was like, okay, I'm going to do this one thing. But what ultimately happened is my health improved, one, because I noticed that my stress level decreased. Now, I didn't go to zero, but it decreased tremendously. And I found myself thinking like, whoa, a year ago, at this point, obviously I wasn't stressed, but at the beginning of 2020, I was. At the beginning of 2020, man, I did feel a little stress. And, by implementing these zones, man, life changed for me. So that's the first thing that happened. The second thing that happened is I noticed that as a result of doing this, man, I actually was able to grow my business, because something that really stuck out to me is no longer did I feel as if I was in survival mode. I did not feel as if I was operating at a place of having to react all the time. So this kind of developed, a certain growth mindset in me, where I was like, okay, well, I get to grow a business. I get to expand what I'm doing. I get to impact more people. And the buffer zones themselves, man, it's just crazy because I just kept thinking like, and I'll just give you those two examples for right now, but I just kept thinking like, man, had I not implemented those things in my life, may not be here today, right? And I may not get the opportunity to sit here and look at this backyard. So how can you start implementing buffer zones in your day? Well, let me ask you this, like part of it just comes with what your schedule looks like, trying to figure out what it is that you actually are prioritizing. Do you actually know what your schedule looks like? Or is this something where you just wake up every single day and just jump into a routine and you move on to the next day because that's what life is? Just got to be able to figure that out. And then the second thing, and I personally would recommend utilizing a physical planner. Now you can utilize a digital one as well, but a planner of sorts. Be able to actually write down in your day what you have going on. But why? When you're able to look at it, for me, when I'm able to look at it, and I use two planners, Passion Planner and the GT Planner, but when I'm able to look at my planner, I can say this section of time, right? I'm able to say like from 11 to 11:30 or from 1:30 to 2 or from 4:30 to 5. These are going to be buffer zones. So these might be times of the day where I just recharge myself. Your buffer zone doesn't, by the way, your buffer zone doesn't always have to be something that requires doing something. Sometimes your buffer zone can be scrolling on social media. Sometimes my buffer zones are just, I'm going to go and watch an hour of Netflix. Because I also understand that the rest of my day has been set up in a specific way that I can actually do that. Sometimes my buffer zone is I'm going to go and just take a 30-minute walk. Sometimes my buffer zone is I'm going to go to the gym at night. That becomes a buffer zone for 2 hours. And in those buffer zones, I actually don't allow other things to come in. In fact, now, if my fiance calls me, obviously I'm going to pick up. If my loved ones call me, I may pick up. But really, I'm talking about business things don't affect, work things don't affect, other things don't affect. These buffer zones are set aside so that I can grow my personal health, my mental health, just my emotional health, and be able to stabilize my peace. That's really what it is, just being able to maintain and protect my peace. So, as I was thinking about, these buffer zones over the last year, it just dawned on me this morning. I was like, man, I got to go share this with the people because honestly, if it's something that you've been feeling as if you're in survival mode, you're reacting to everything, every day just feels like you are dreading going to the next day. Utilize the concept of being able to put buffers in your day and just, even if you've got to start with something like 10 minutes, it does not matter. Even if you have to start with something like 10 minutes, do that. Implement that into your day. Take some time for yourself and watch your life drastically take a change for the better. That's all I've got to share today. Hopefully y'all stay blessed today. Get in the sun. Enjoy it while it still lasts. Peace.